Driving a side-by-side is freeing. It lets you go to a happy place and forget about the world's worries. Focus on the next turn, the next slide, the next obstacle. To use the right pedal as pure throttle therapy and to burn the day's concerns like the 91 octane exhaust gases coming out of the pipe. So light those cylinder fires, spin them tires, and get filthy dirty. Because today, it's Maverick Sport XMR test ride time, and this rig is way too clean for my liking. The progression of Can-Am side-by-side lineup has been the fastest of any manufacturer in the industry. I mean, they went from just a couple models to having irons in every single class fire in just a few short years. And their products? They're pretty incredible. Today's focus is the Maverick Sport XMR. While we would typically be in nothing but dirt and mud, Mother Nature sent us an early winter, so we decided to paint the snow with our brand new Sport XMR. It was a surprise release just a few short months ago, and I don't think a progression that we expected to see. With the big brother, the Turbo R XMR, already in the market, most folks expected that that was that. But Can-Am is playing the big picture game and looking to offer a wider range of buyers, a broader offering of products. And let's face it, not everyone needs or wants the Turbo R, but there's a lot of folks who do want a purpose-built mud-running side-by-side. And the Maverick Sport XMR gives them just that, at a significantly lower price tag than the bigger Turbo. Obviously, there's a place for the Turbo XMR. I'm not knocking it, but what I am saying is that this 1000 XMR comes with a bunch of great options, exceptionally good power, and XMR-specific features that you're gonna love. And let's talk about power first. The 1000R Rotax motor is no slouch and uses 100 standard horsepower to spin the 30-inch ITP cryptid tires in any situation. While the non-R1000 motor is acceptable at 75 horsepower, the 1000R is the right choice, and the only choice when you spec the XMR in a Maverick Sport. Throttle response is instant, power delivery is smooth and progressive from engagement right through to max RPM. And the ITC Intelligent Throttle Control drive-by-wire system is the most refined that we've ever felt from Can-Am. You have your Sport setting that'll offer full power and instant throttle response just like a cable throttle body, and Eco mode that will soften throttle input or more specifically smooth out jumpy taps of the throttle to make for a smoother ride. It'll also limit acceleration and maximize fuel consumption to get you further, or more importantly, get you back out when you played a little bit too long and need to conserve some fuel. So let's talk about the real meat of this buggy, the 1000R motor. I mean, how's it deliver the power? How's it spin the 30-inch cryptids? And how are we gonna lock up these front tires? Also, what's that extra rocker switch on the dash for? The Sport XMR comes with the Smartlock front diff standard, and the beautiful new 7.6-inch digital display does the best job that I've seen from Can-Am of letting you know what mode you're in. The drive modes are 2x4 with the rear diff locked. Then we have 4x4, where the Smartlock will detect wheel slippage and lock and unlock as needed to ensure that you get the best traction and the least amount of negative feedback. Now, pressing the front diff lock rocker will take you to the third setting, and that locks up the front differential to a true locked front end for ultimate traction. Now let's take a step to our right and look at the mud and trail button. While some folks think this is another ITC throttle setting, it is not. This toggle is for the Smartlock differential settings. Welcome back. Before the break, we were discussing all the different toggle switch settings and modes for both ITC as well as Smartlock. So let's jump right back in. Trail mode for the Smartlock uses wheel speed sensors on each wheel to compare wheel speed and tell the XMR's brain if there's front-end slippage of either wheel. If it senses slippage, it'll then progressively lock the front end, which will allow for the steering effort to slowly increase and the power steering to ramp up power to match the locked parameters, delivering a seamless, smooth steering effort that you won't even notice and a locked front end where you need it. Steering angles also play a part with a steering sensor, allowing the front end lock to disengage in hard cornering if there is no slippage to make for easier steering. The mud mode has a whole bunch of built-in knowledge of thick, muddy, wet, and gnarly terrain, and also compares wheel slippage and engine torque to identify the right time to fully lock and keep locked the front end. Smartlock was designed with Team Industries, who really know their stuff about power sports drivelines. But at the end of the day, you're here to see if this stuff really works, and I'm here to tell you the truth. And the bottom line is undeniable. Smartlock is a winner. When you want it fully locked, you toggle the diff lock switch and it's undeniably locked full time. When you want easier drivability, you leave it in four-wheel drive and let the sophisticated sensors and computer calculate when and where you need the diff locked up. In the mud, I like to run the diff fully locked. Low range gives us really excellent wheel speed and the assurance that the belt isn't getting stressed too much. No matter the depth or thickness of the mud, we didn't find the XMR to struggle with wheel spin. Sure, we got stuck a few times, but when you don't know what's down there, you can get high-centered. The increased ground clearance at 15 inches helps a lot in getting us through all that rutted-out soggy bottom of most holes, and the high-arched front and rear lower A-arms really do give us a clear shot through most terrain without getting hung up. Now the cryptids sit at 9 inches wide up front and 11 inches wide in the rear, and they're mounted to a really nice-looking 14-inch black and silver rim. But is 30 inches enough when it comes to the Sport XMR? I guess that the answer is both yes and no. With bigger tires and deeper lugs, will it go further? Well, yeah, for sure it will. But you'll also suffer with needing to lower the gearing to accommodate, sacrificing top speed, and possibly the most important, suffering from the on-trail harshness and lack of grip on dry terrain when you're out trail riding to get to the mud. It's my belief that the Maverick Sport XMR isn't just a one-trick pony. Not just for the mud, but a very capable on-trail cruiser as well, offering a comfortable and sporty ride with the focus on getting through just about any mud hole that you may find in your path. There's always the Turbo R with larger tires, deeper lugs, and more power should you want to focus on nothing but mud. However, I feel that this Sport XMR is almost like a crossover side-by-side, offering an exceptional compromise of on-trail fun and deep churning mud. I've talked about comfort a lot, and I don't just mean the Fox Podium QS3 reservoir shocks. When I talk about comfort with a Maverick, I'm talking about the Ergo Lock interior as well. And let me tell you, this Ergo Lock interior is probably the most comfortable interior in a side-by-side that I have ever sat in. Can-Am took a lot of time and effort to design the interior with the driver in mind. From ergonomically correct seat angles and foam thickness to the proper positioning of footrests and even arching the smooth interior finished doors to give you added shoulder room and less restrictions. While many folks just look at specs and horsepower or tire sizes, the place that you contact the side-by-side most is right here in the interior and should be somewhere you take a long, hard look at. I fit in this thing like it was custom built for me, and it lets me focus on hitting the next mud hole and not feeling cramped or uncomfortable. Can-Am offers a wide variety of side-by-sides for a wide variety of riding styles. But the truth is, the 2019 Maverick Sport XMR may be my favorite yet, offering a great mix of on-trail sporty performance with swamp bottom digging, mud lug spinning, mud riding fun. Make sure you click to subscribe for even more great content on our YouTube channel. Travel stories, test rides, modifications, you name it, we've got it.